What it is, what it was, what it could be, y'all. Welcome back to Disc Golf Justice. Today, we are gonna be talking about shoes, specifically the Idiosport Syncrasies. The Syncrasies are the world's first disc golf dedicated shoe, which I think is really, really cool. A brand came out and spent some time and money and effort and energy into helping the disc golf community and dedicating a shoe design for our sport, because it's a very unique sport when you think about it. First of all, I wanna say I am sponsored by Idiosports, but they don't get a say in this review. I like to keep things completely genuine and authentic on my channel, so this is gonna be exactly what I think about these shoes. The good, the bad, the ugly, the brilliant. I'm gonna give it to you straight. I have been officially rocking the Idio Syncrasies day in and day out since February 22nd, I wanna say. So it's been a solid 3 months of wear and tear daily. Y'all see the videos I pump out. These things are getting some serious use. So starting with the things I really, really like about these shoes. For one, like I said, I think it's incredible that a company took the time and dedicated a shoe specifically for our sport, because I think we do require such a unique shoe. You know, it's not like any other movement. Personally, I think these provide fantastic traction. Like, I've had these for 3 months, the traction's all still there if you take a look at the bottoms of these, and I feel like I get really good grip. Here in Australia, we tend to have grass tee boxes. We don't have a lot of concrete tee boxes, so that may be something to take into consideration before you buy these. If you have a lot of concrete tee boxes where you're at, these are probably not going to last quite as long as they do for me on the grass. Another thing that I really like about the Syncrasies is that even though they're waterproof, they are still pretty breathable. The mesh fabric that it's made out of on the tops and the sides allows it to maintain a little bit of breathability, so your feet aren't just swamping it up in there. However, because they are waterproof, your feet still do get stinky, man. Like, and I already have pretty smelly feet, bro. My things be woo, you know, keep my wife up at night. But yeah, they still do get smelly. And another key thing I love about these shoes is that they are wide enough for my fat little chubby feet. So the shoe I actually came from are these Ultra Trail 6s, I believe they are, which are super wide. They look funny on your feet, like they have a funny shape to them in comparison to most shoes. That's because they have a really wide foot base, so people like me can put their fat little feet in there. So my number one concern coming from the Ultra Trails to the Idios were that they weren't going to be wide enough for my little tubsters. But I am happy to say that these are like the perfect width. Now that I wear these, I still keep the Ultra Trail 6s for like my everyday drivers, like walking around, going on hikes, and because they're still fantastic shoes, super comfy. So I wear them for like my everyday shoes. But when I go from the Syncrasies to the Ultra Trail 6s, I'm like, yeah, the Ultra Trail 6s are too wide, especially if you play a round of disc golf in the Ultra Trails after going from these. They're so wide that you notice that your feet has room to wiggle around in there. It like slides when you pivot a bit. When you're planting and stuff and turning and twisting, you don't want your foot sliding inside your shoe. So the fact that these really hug your feet is a big bonus. Also, having the added protection for the toe drag. If you're a toe dragger, these are the shoes for you, because no other shoe that, as far as I know, have that extra protection for your toe drag. That's what I like about these, because they're trying to get the ultimate performance out of every single disc golfer out there. And coming from these Ultra Trail 6s, I was super nervous that they weren't going to be as comfy, because like I said, these things are like walking on freaking clouds, man. But again, I was very pleasantly surprised. They feel good on the foot. They're nice and snug, but not too snug. I used to have the Adidas Terex. I ordered them. They didn't even make it to the course. They didn't even make it past my backyard before I returned them. Those shoes are not made for wide-feeted people. They are made for skinny feet. But if you got a wide foot, the Idiosyncrasies get that check of approval. Another thing I like about them is that they're waterproof. I play the most of my disc golf early morning. That's when I can get my rounds in. And that's when all the dew is on the grass, which then gets my socks wet. And there's absolutely nothing I hate playing with more, or doing anything with more, than wet socks. Wet socks are the absolute worst. Happy to say that these check off that waterproof box. And the last thing I really like about these shoes is just the modern, sleek look of them, the design. They're really, really cool, especially if you go over to Idiosports on Instagram. The next one that they have coming out in July have some sick colors, like some really cool color schemes. I'm pretty jealous. And the Nate Sexton ones are really cool as well. But just the overall designs, when I look at the Ultra Trail 6s, like, I'm not one that really cares about fashion or looking cool out on the course. I could really care less. But these Ultra Trail 6s do look really funky. Like, they're a goofy looking shoe. These Syncrasies do look pretty sleek, pretty modern, very cool looking shoe. So they get another check in that box. Now on to the things I don't like about the Syncrasies, and I'll be honest, it's really only one thing I don't like about these. However, it is a pretty major thing, and that has been just a bit of the build quality. Now I'll put some B-roll so that you can see this, but on these heels, they're really starting to tear apart on the seams, which has then made these shoes not waterproof as well, which was one of my major things that I like about them. But now it kind of takes away that check, because if they are breaking at the seams, they're letting water in, they're no longer waterproof. And when you're paying a decent little chunk of change for a disc golf shoe, you kind of want it to stay together and intact for as long as possible. You know, you don't want to be having to buy 1, 2, 3 pairs of these every single year. Like I said, I've only had these 3 months. Now, that being said, I did have a conversation with the owner, Craig Kitchens, the other day, and he told me how he is fully aware of these issues and he is completely on it. He actually showed me a whole breakdown of what they're doing for this next run so that this doesn't happen. He talked about how they're increasing the quality of the rubber, they're increasing the quality of the stuff that seals it. Look, I'm not a shoe person, I don't know the ins and outs of what goes into making a shoe, but I did take a screenshot of a slideshow that he had going up when he was presenting all this to me, so I'll be sure to throw that on the screen. It should show more than I can talk about, but the fact that they are well aware of this problem, and not only have they addressed it in this next run that's releasing in July, they've been taking care of all the customers they've had that have had this issue. Craig told me that he's been paying out of pocket to get customers' shoes repaired, re-glued, re-sealed, whatever they had wrong with them, and sent back to the customer completely free of charge. And I think that speaks volumes, but honestly, I'm not surprised, because if there's one thing I've learned about the disc golf community, is that there is no other community like ours. Our community just takes care of one another, and I think Idiosport is just a prime example of that. So I think what we need to do as a disc golf community is take care of them back and support a brand that is trying to help grow the sport, you know what I mean? Instead of buying the new version of the Adidas Terex to support Adidas that's already well known, why not go grab yourself some Syncrasy's, the new run that's got all the problems fixed and has all the good qualities that I talked about, and you can get you a cheeky little discount code if you use the link down in my description and use code SYNCOverStripes at checkout. They are now taking pre-orders for the next run that's dropping in July. I'm telling you, if you're a serious disc golfer, this is a shoe that you should really be considering. Obviously, there are a lot of really good options out there, but if you want to help support the disc golf community, help grow the sport while also looking cool, I think the Syncrasys are going to be the right shoe for you. Like I said, check out the link in description if you do want to pre-order the next run of the Idio Syncrasys. It is an affiliate link, so it does help out the channel, and I really appreciate that, and it's of no cost to you. But what do you guys think of the Idio Syncrasys? Let me know down in the comments. What shoe do you use for disc golf? I'm actually really curious what everyone uses. I know some people use the Terex, some people like the Ultra Trail 6. Hey, I'm an idiot now, you know what I'm saying? I think I've been an idiot my whole life. If you guys like the video, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. If you want to see more, make sure you smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future content, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.